So I had my own construction business, and in 2007 I was working at a job. I was finishing up building a deck, and it was at my brother-in-law, sister-in-law's house, and I only had a few hours to finish up the deck, and so I was kind of rushing, not really paying attention to what I was doing, and I was ripping some boards on a table saw, and I didn't have the boards in the right spot, and when I went to reach for one of the boards, my hand followed into the table saw, and my hand basically went into the blade.
I remember I received the phone call while I was at work that Jeff had had an accident with his hand at my sister's house. And the whole way to the hospital and to my sister's house, I prayed that God would take his pain away. I didn't know if it was his right hand or his left hand. But luckily, when I got there, we found out that it was his left hand and not his dominant hand.
People were asking me at the time, was it painful, when it happened? And actually it wasn't. It really wasn't painful. It was more of a burning sensation because the saw had burned through the nerves, cut through the nerves. So it was more of a burning sensation, and I know it wasn't as painful, partly because people were praying for me, Deb was praying for me, and because of God being in control, taking that pain away.
I remember thinking through this experience that how we were going to pay the bills. I was only working 30 hours a week at the time, and I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to have to get a second job, but then how would I be able to take care of Jeff and Jake as I'm working two jobs?
So we weren't sure how long I was going to be out of work. We knew that it was going to be several months, and it was kind of tough knowing that year I was looking at my best year for my business with home remodeling, and I had jobs lined up all through the year, the rest of the year, and just not knowing how long I was going to be out of work just kind of kept looming over us, and the surgeon wouldn't really give me a timeline as to when I could get back to work. He just kept saying, I'll let you know when you can. Little did we know it was going to be a year and a half, almost 2 years, before I was going to be able to work again with my hand before he would clear me.
I remember sitting at the desk with my checkbook out and just praying that God would make that money stretch each month, and he did. He provided for us. He never let us go hungry. Our house, we never missed a mortgage payment. Our cars were paid for. He just provided. He showed us that he would always be there for us and that he would always provide for us.
But through that time, God really showed us how much control he has through the church here, family, friends, co-workers, people that we didn't even know. Just God used them to help us through that time financially. There's no way that we would have been able to do it on our own. So often we try to give God control, but at the same time we don't relinquish control, and we still try and figure out why are we struggling so much. But when you let go and allow God to be God, there's amazing things that he can do, and there's always a reason why you go through certain things. There's always a lesson to be learned, and God always has a reason for allowing those things to happen. We are Jeff and Deb Murphy, and this is our story of how we let God take control.